Your next comic coming to the stage is another good friend of mine. He's also a regular here. He's very funny. You can see him performing all over the Metroplex. Put your hands together for David American.
Kenny American is the most stubborn man I have ever met. This man could give an ass a run for its money. I swear to God, as a child, he took a bicycle and rode it from Maryland to California because his friend moved away without saying goodbye. This man volunteered for the military when they drew his number in the draft for Nam because even the government couldn't hold him down, make him do anything. He would have to go on his own terms. I'm going to keep doing that voice, guys. I can see you all looking at me. I don't give a shit. He was raised by a generation of military men and police force, which is a life of 110% effort that he excelled at due to his true stubbornness. I told you, it's going to keep going. If there was a thin blue line, Kenny American would learn ballet simply to stand upon it better. This man wore a white suit to his own wedding to establish with his friends and family his moral compass was stronger than everyone else's in the room. It's getting better, see? We're building. That's what we're doing as a group now. At 65 years old, Kenny American was still working forced labor on a llama farm for simply a room to stand. He told his people in charge of him that his work was not worth food as well. That's just a true statement. I was trying to make that the voice and make it funny. When I was young, and I mean very young, I was conceived overseas because Kenny American decided it would be in his best interest to go back to Spain and convince the Spanish Catholic Church to do Christianity better. So that's 800 years of Christianity, and he's showing them what's up. It took about 4 years before they kicked him out. Apparently he was opposed to the child touching. Participation trophies are bullshit, as he would say in his own words. They're born for pussies. If you're not putting in 100% effort, I don't even know why you're playing. So needless to say, one simply does not win an argument against Kenny American. It is not something that happens. If there was an autobiography of his life, it would be titled The Art of the Argue, How to Never Let Go. So the closest that I've ever came to beating my father at anything was only to use his own words against him. He told me, and I think we've all heard this before, my house, my rules. You can't smoke pot in my bathroom. We've all been there. It happened 10 years later. I had to learn stubbornness. And he showed up at my college dorm. It's actually an apartment. Makes it better because it sounds like I pay more bills. And he sat down on the couch and I lit up a bowl. I just looked at him. He was just waiting. It's like, I know you're not smoking that in front of me. Like devil's grass. I said, my house, my rules. Hell yeah, Kenny American. Hell yeah. So, that also was the day that it started a 15-year argument that we've had where I simply stated, as I was high and not really thinking about who I was talking to, that the government might have a little too much control. Please cue all of the standard conservative things that you've ever heard in your life. If you're not doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about. Why would they ever take Kenny American to jail? You should always comply immediately with the cops and just give in. They are on your side. They're from the government. They're clearly here to help. So I was euphorically ecstatic earlier this week when I received a phone call from this man, and I heard the less than brash voice on the phone tell me, Dave, I think you might be like a little bit right about the government, just a touch. And I got excited. I started jumping around. I'm like holding the phone. I'm like, I'm finally right. I'm finally right. And I realized I was in public. And this is not the conversation that you should be having on the phone in public. But then I looked up and it was Walmart. So like if there's an appropriate public location to have fucked up crazy conversations, it's definitely while you're rolling back prices. I mean, I'm holding imitation crab in one hand and a table in the other. I think this is going to go okay. So I decided to name my organization that fights back against the government, against the most stubborn man that I ever knew. It's going to be called PAPA, for the Patriots against the Patriot Act. Thank you guys. That's my time.
Go, David!
Give it up for your host. Y'all have a good night.